difficult to imagine life without an alarm clock, isn't it? But research shows that people using alarm clocks are chronically tired, and snoozing is particularly bad for your health. Now, we all require alarm clocks, don't we? In a situation when we can't do without alarm clocks, we certainly must consider not using our phones to wake us up. The blaring sound first thing in the morning makes you stressed and makes you prone to being groggy and tired all day. So if you simply have to use an alarm clock to get up in the morning, there are alternatives available. In this report, we're telling you what alarm clocks are doing to our bodies and what are the better alternatives that you could be using. Is this you, snoozing constantly, waking up on several occasions and going back to sleep? Or is this you, your body on a flight or fight mode the second you get up in the morning? Either ways, you're doing your physical and mental health grave injustice.
When you put yourself in snooze mode, because then it becomes very, very difficult. Your body gets more tired. There is a vicious circle between your brain telling you you have to go to work and your body telling you I am tired. You shouldn't be having too many fragmentations and interferences in the sleep. That is an unhealthy way of doing it, because even if you sleep at a stretch for 3 to 4 hours, that will be much more productive.
Your experience would indicate that you do end up feeling stressed if you wake up to several alarms. Experts advise against overloading your clock app with too many morning alarms. This will make you feel groggy and exhausted first thing in the morning. You don't want that. Waking up to multiple alarms every morning disrupts your rapid eye movement cycle, REM, frequently, and this can cause sleep inertia, increase fatigue, mood swings, and raise your cortisol levels.
So muscles also get tight. Your brain thinks you are in stress mode, which is why you feel very, very stressed. So this is the reason that your body goes either into fight or flight or fight mode. So you become more irritating. These are the stress hormones, and obviously their work is to prepare your body for stress reactions.
Using your phone as an alarm clock is absolutely not advised. Waking up on the right side of your bed is important, and here's why these alarm clocks can be considered alternatives. A physical alarm clock, the good old alarm clock, works. A lot of people do invest in an LED alarm clock, a sunrise alarm clock that wakes sleepers up with light rather than a blaring alarm. That might help. Buzzers that vibrate and don't make noise and also shake the bed a little are some good options. Doctors also advise following the body's circadian rhythm, going to sleep and waking at the same time to help you.
The solution to all this is that we have our adequate hours of sleep. Circadian rhythm means that the ideal time to go to bed is around 8 or 9 in the night, so that you are up by about 6 or 7 in the morning. So you complete your 7 to 8 hours of sleep, which is very, very important for the body. It has to be maintained. Otherwise, your body will think that you are in different zone. You still have to get up. You have to do your work. And that will lead to an imbalance in the hormonal system of the body.
So keep the loud noise away and certainly don't have multiple alarms set and get your body stressed the first thing in the morning. Well, if you are a parent, you would be having discussions around screen time with parents your age who have kids around the same age as yours. It indeed is one of the most hotly debated topics. But is no screen time, absolutely none, even possible? And if you do want to know how much screen time is okay for your kids, we'll tell you. Countries like Australia have some guidelines for kids already. How much screen time is then okay? The Australian guidelines of screen time are part of its 24-hour movement guidelines that prescribe the amount of time we should spend each day on physical activity, sleep and screen time to maintain physical and mental health and well-being. The screen time guidelines, which are based on seated activity, recommend no screen time for children under the age of 2. No more than 1 hour of screen time for children between the ages of 2 to 5. No more than 2 hours of recreational screen time outside of schoolwork from the age of 5 to 17. This could just give you a vague idea about how much screen time is okay, but many parents obviously give more time than this. Many do not. For example, I do not give more than 2 hours of screen time a week, and screen time is only allowed on weekends. That too television, no tablets, no phones for my 8-year-old. Now going back to the concerns around screen time, here is what we all should know and focus on. Screen time is not just affecting our eyes. It also has a deep bearing on our mental space. It has a negative bearing on how children are eating. Children with higher screen time are more likely to engage in mindless eating and overeating. When they're distracted by screens, kids can miss important signals from their brains, letting them know that they're full, the tummy doesn't want any more. Never ever feed your kids while engaging them on a tablet or while watching TV. TV and meals should never go hand in hand. Not for children, not even for you. Screen time can also push kids towards junk eating. How? They're also more likely to crave and eat unhealthier foods. This is actually driven in part by junk food advertising accompanying children's content on screens. The lesser known way is too much screen time affects a child's diet is by impacting their sleep, and that's the other way. It's affecting their sleep and their well-being. For children and adolescents, adequate sleep is 11 to 14 hours including naps for toddlers, 10 to 13 hours including naps for 3 to 5-year-olds, 9 to 11 hours for children between the ages of 5 to 13. 8 to 10 hours for teenagers. Research shows a child's ability to get adequate sleep is deeply impacted by screen time. A review of 67 studies of school-age children and adolescents found that screen time was associated with shorter and later sleep in 90% of the studies reviewed. We need adequate sleep to regulate two essential hormones, ghrelin and leptin, that manage our hunger and our appetite. Getting less than our recommended sleep disrupts our appetite hormones, resulting in an increased desire to eat. Finally, more time indoors looking at screens can mean less time being physically active. A lot of parents say this is impossible. It's impossible to get kids off the screens. What can we do then? Schools are online often. Kids are using phones. There is peer pressure, immense amount of it. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, these are genuine concerns. We aren't dismissing them. But by doing a couple of things can help your situation. Nothing too drastic. Establish screen time rules. Consider guidelines for your child's age, like I said, and cover expectations for where, when, and how screens are used. Young kids playing an educational game on a tablet in the family room might just be okay once in a while. However, watching YouTube in the bedroom is not. Make meal times and the bedroom at bedtime screen-free zones. Involve your children, particularly teenagers, in the process to ensure everyone follows the rules. Outdoor time with kids. Now try establishing regular time in your family schedule for physical activity. Outdoors, whether a daily visit to the park or sports on the weekend, be a role model for your kids. They closely watch you, they observe and mimic their parents. So the best way to ensure your child has healthy screen time habits is to adopt them yourself. Apply rules to your own screen use at home, including being mindful of being distracted by never-ending notifications.